Hello, and welcome to another episode of From the Field. I'm your host, Caitlin Berger, the editor of Top Crop Manager magazine for Western Canada. And with me today is Rachel Evans, technical sales manager at FMC. Thanks for joining From the Field.
Thanks for having me.
Today, we're going to be talking about some of the weed challenges and herbicide resistance challenges cereal growers are facing in Western Canada, as well as some solutions. So let's set the groundwork first. Rachel, what are some of the major broadleaf weed challenges cereal growers are facing on the prairies?
Well, um, every 5 years or so, federal and provincial researchers and ag extension staff that pre-harvest surveys of herbicide-resistant weeds across the prairies. According to their findings, the top concerns in Manitoba are resistant pigweed species, lamb's quarters, wild buckwheat, kochia, and pale smartweed. In Saskatchewan, the top five broadleaf weeds are kochia, wild buckwheat, lamb's quarters, Canada thistle, and sow thistle species. And in Alberta, chickweed, canola, wild buckwheat, lamb's quarters, false sleepers were among the top five broadleaf weeds.
So, unfortunately, we can't talk about weed challenges without also talking about herbicide resistance. What herbicide resistance challenges are prevalent with these weeds?
Across all of the weeds previously mentioned, group 2 resistance is the most commonly found within the populations in the prairies. Volunteer canola would be whatever herbicide tolerant system that was grown by the producer, of course. And then additionally, group 9 resistant kochia is now very widespread. And we're getting to the point where if you have kochia, it's very likely that it could be group 9 resistant. So that really highlights the importance of getting your communities tested so you know what you're dealing with. Then group 4 resistance is slowly gaining ground in kochia populations. So that's definitely one to watch out for. And most recently, group 14 resistant kochia has now been confirmed in several RMs across the prairies. So if you want to learn more about this, you can check out the Prairie Weeds Monitoring Network. Lots of information there for you.
So now that we kind of know what we're up against, I'm hoping you can provide some information on some potential solutions. And let's start with agronomy. What are some of the best agronomic practices for managing herbicide resistant weeds in cereal crops?
Well, I think the most important thing we can try to do when we're dealing with herbicide resistant weeds is uh, just everything, doing our best to establish a competitive crop. So it's all things from seeding rates, seeding dates, row spacing, seed treatments, your fertility practices, crop rotation, harvest timing. How can we vary, the crops that we grow so that we can harvest them at different times and limit the amount of weed seed return to fields, as well as harvest practices. The list goes on, but really it comes down to how can we ensure that that crop is at its best to compete with those troublesome weeds. And then after that, it comes to thoughtful choices on how we can mix, layer, rotate herbicide chemistries across our crop rotations so that we are applying many little hammers to the problem.
So to get a little more specific when it comes to herbicide solutions, how can a pre-seed weed control product like Avireo Herbicide help?
Great question. Avireo herbicide is FMC's new combination of two herbicide modes of action, a group 14 and 27. This is the first combination of these active ingredients in Western Canada. And researchers have long established that multi-mode of action products are an effective tool in delaying development of herbicide-resistant weeds. So when we consider the pressure that we're putting on the group 14s to manage a weed like kochia, it's going to be really important that we reduce the number of applications of single mode of action products. In addition to that, Avireo herbicide is a pre-seed burnoff product. And we know that making applications when weeds are smaller is the best time to maximize the weed control performance, especially for a weed like kochia. Newly published research from Dr. Sharp at Ag Canada has shown that the more branches that kochia has, the less effective herbicides can be. So that rule of the smaller the better is definitely what we want to try and embrace when we're managing the kochia.
Okay, and like you said, having different combinations of actives is an incredibly important method for managing herbicide resistant weeds. Are there any pertinent details growers should know before applying Avireo, such as follow crops or application timing?
Great question. Avireo herbicide is registered for use ahead of spring wheat, durum wheat, winter wheat, and barley. It has excellent recropping flexibility, so farmers can seed cereals immediately after, follow with oats or corn after 3 months, pulses and canola after 9 months, and most other crops after 12 months. That makes it very versatile for growers across Western Canada. It can also be applied pre-seed or up to 3 days after seeding. So again, lots of flexibility in terms of when we can apply it. And for best results, it should be applied to young, actively growing weeds on warm, sunny days, targeting 20 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 10 gallons of water.
Okay, thanks. And where can our listeners find more information?
You can reach out to your local FMC rep or your local retail, or you can visit our website at ag.fmc.com/ca.
Rachel, thanks so much for providing this information on weed challenges, herbicide resistance, and Avireo herbicide. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us on From the Field.
Thanks again for having me.